this about its true strength, he began calculating the potential power it would unleash when invoked. The spell's results far exceeded his expectations, its power overwhelming. Realizing the danger, he noted that a single mistake could annihilate his entire party. With a sigh, he decided it was too risky and sealed the spell away, choosing not to rely on it. Arriving at the ruins, Minato realized the others had already gone ahead. Just as he had resolved to take things seriously, he found himself left behind, standing alone at the entrance. Minato heard the threatening cry of a monster and quickly spotted his companions engaged with it. A winged beast loomed before them, its horn glowing as it gathered mana. Meina warned of the buildup, while Amy readied herself confidently for the fight. Amy dashed forward without hesitation, sword in hand. With a swift and powerful strike, she slashed through the monster, her attack landing cleanly and driving the beast back with force. By the time Minato caught up, the fight was already over. The girls had slain a Misha bat, a monster worth a hefty subjugation reward. Amy, grinning and covered in its blood, eagerly suggested they hunt down more for profit. Watching her enthusiasm, Minato felt no desire whatsoever to fight such creatures himself. The group arrived at a massive spiral staircase leading toward the ground. Meina and Amy moved with excitement, guiding the way without hesitation. Minato followed, taking in the scale of the structure. These were the unexplored ruins they discovered. As they descended deeper into the ruins, Minato struggled to keep pace, relying on self-enhancing magic just to match their movements. Meina and Amy moved effortlessly, their skill and confidence far above that of ordinary adventurers. The scale of the ruins overwhelmed him, and he wondered if he could truly live up to the highest expectations upon him. He finally stood before the colossal ruins, a structure so vast and imposing it left the adventurers in awe. Minato gazed at it with wide eyes, realizing it was too much time to their size and the weight of setting the stage for the challenge ahead. As they examined the entrance to the ruins, Minato noticed something covered in moss behind him, a point he hadn't noticed at first. The rocks themselves were concrete, proving the site's man-made origin. To find such a concealed entrance would normally require sharp perception, but knowledge of ancient ruins. Surprised, he thought Meina had discovered it, but Amy revealed that she had Meina quickly admitted she was simply wandering around when she stumbled upon the ruins, laughing, making light of the situation, leaving Minato shocked against his pure chance. Amy's unusual talents were completely rare. While a normal person would have never stumbled upon such a unique place, she moved with a carefree attitude, guided by instinct alone. She sniffed the air with affection, following a scent that only she could notice. Before long, she found it again together. Her movements light and nimble, until she uncovered a small treasure with childlike delight. To her companions, it became clear that Amy possessed a peculiar sense that allowed her to find things others would easily overlook. The group advanced through the building, stopping before a massive door radiating an oppressive energy. Even without any clear signs, the atmosphere alone revealed the danger lurking beyond. They knew the monster they sought was just ahead, its presence pressing heavily on their senses. Feeling themselves for what awaited, they stood ready, aware that the true challenge lay just beyond that threshold. He reminded himself of his role. A mage whose duty was to unleash offensive magic. Having accepted the request, retreat was no longer an option. Determined to see it through, he prepared himself as his companion raised his staff towards the great door, ready to face the battle ahead and finish the task swiftly. They analyzed the enemy's weakness, noting that fire would be their advantage, and that destroying its core would end its movement. Knowing the fight ahead would be long and demanding, they steeled themselves. One of them stretched and prepared physically, while Minato calmly readied his defensive magic. The gate-opening spell cast, the path to the battle began to unfold. The massive gate opened to reveal a towering golem, its entire body encased in thick rock armor. The creature's sheer size and weight shook the ground as it moved, radiating an overwhelming presence. Without hesitation, the group charged forward, ready to engage the gigantic foe in battle. As the battle began, Amy took the lead, drawing the golem's attention just as planned. With swift movements, she leapt toward the massive creature and delivered a powerful kick, forcing it to react. The golem roared in response. Its focus now massive fists crashing to the ground with force, shaking the battlefield. Though its attacks were simple, the sheer power behind them made them dangerous. Amy continued to bait it, keeping his focus on them as it pursued. Watching closely, Minato noticed the creature's weight and strength. Its rocky body was so cool, apparently crushing force in tons, making it strike a lethal threat. The golem's body, even when struck, quickly regenerated. Its physical attack was useless. The only true way to defeat it was through magic. Amy kept the creature occupied, darting around with remarkable reflexes and agility, buying precious time for her companions. While she engaged the enemy head-on, the others prepared their next move, relying on her skill to keep the battle under control. Lena focused her mana sight, pinpointing the exact location of the golem's core. Knowing Minato lacked experience in fighting monsters, she decided to set the standard for him, using precision and determination to prepare for battle, ready to strike the enemy the proper way to target him. Might itself struck the golem's core directly, confirming her accuracy. She immediately prepared to fire again, urging Minato to join them. Though her offensive magic lacked raw power, it served as a precise marker, revealing the follow-up. Marking his foes, the strategy became clear. Concentrate their magic on that exact spot until the enemy struck. Minato stepped forward, gathering his strength and laying his sword down. Determination in his voice, he unleashed his spell, an improved flame shot directed straight at the golem's exposed core. His firepower surged as he pointed, marking the start of their coordinated assault. The combined flames surged through the air, colliding directly with the golem's core. The impact erupted in a violent explosion, shattering its rocky armor and sending fragments flying across the battlefield. Minato and Mina stood side by side, their coordinated magic overwhelming the creature. Blast tore through its defenses. Mina looked on in shock as Minato revealed his true power. Surrounding himself with multiple spheres of blazing magic, he prepared to unleash them all at once. Calm but resolute, he declared his nature someone who always carried out a task to the fullest once it was entrusted to him. Minato unleashed a relentless barrage of flames, determined to obliterate the golem's core beyond any chance of recovery. A task that was originally meant to require three mages, now being carried out by the overwhelming power alone. Though the first strike had already been enough to finish the job, he continued to pour out his magic. Watched him closely, while Minato quietly assumed she must see him as inexperienced. Magic surged wildly around Minato as he prepared his finishing strike. His presence overwhelmed him. His allies looked on in shock, barely able to process the immense power he was drawing out. The battlefield soon engulfed in smoke and dust from the blast. Visibility failed. What remained of him was Minato unleashed wave after wave of his flame shot, determined to ensure the golem's core. What was expected to be a long, drawn-out battle ended with a relentless assault, leaving his companions stunned at the overwhelming display. Minato unleashed a relentless storm of explosions, each one shaking the battlefield with deafening force. Smoke and fire engulfed the area as his determination burned through each citizen on the job, and he was hesitant to kill it. His allies, overwhelmed by the thunderous blasts, could only watch in awe and confusion as the sheer scale of his power left them stunned. When the dust finally cleared, the battlefield revealed nothing but rubble and scattered fragments. The golem had been completely annihilated. Its once massive form was no longer even recognizable, reduced to debris by the overwhelming assault. Amy and Mina stared in disbelief, trembling at the sheer destruction. Minato, realizing the extent of the damage, admitted to himself that he might have gone too far. With the battle over, Minato hesitantly questioned if the mission could be considered a success, though unease lingered after his overwhelming display. His companions silently acknowledged it, but their wary expressions showed that trust might need to be rebuilt. Collecting what remained of the spoils, the group prepared to return to the guild, their task complete, though the weight of what had happened still hung in the air. Mina and Amy, still shaken but reassured by his strength, asked Minato to continue accompanying them. Their earnest request left him silent for a moment as their gazes pressed on him. Though he tried to appear reluctant, inside he acknowledged a weakness he could never ignore those who depended on him. With a nod, he accepted, realizing he would be working alongside them longer than expected. Inside the ruins, Amy eagerly hunted for treasure while Minato searched in vain. Hearing her voice but unable to see her, he caught a pleasant scent and wondered if he too possessed a knack for detecting treasure. The group shared a freshly prepared meal, its rich fragrance filling the air, made from the bird frog Minato had caught. Each carried a wild flavor that was surprisingly delicious. Savory, Minato felt grateful as he sat upon his sword. Party navigating the neighborhood passage, Minato handled the small monsters along the way, while Meina marked their path and supported with her Monastar. Amy, guided by her sharp sense of treasure, pressed forward without hesitation, allowing the group to steadily advance through the twisting corridors. Their teamwork allowed them to progress swiftly. Minato's quick eliminated monsters, while Mina's Monasite revealed their weaknesses, saving time and effort. Amy continued her search unhindered. Together they functioned like a well-formed party, each role complementing the others perfectly. Mina, flustered and animated, praised Minato's abilities, though he credited their success to her skill in the stage. While she became boisterous, the group continued forward, reflecting on how their progress was only possible thanks to her support. With reliable teamwork, even difficult monsters could be navigated, turning the expedition into something almost enjoyable. The group left the decision to Amy's intuition, but she remained silent, focused entirely on her meal. Only after finishing did she finally consider their next move, her thoughtful expression showing the weight of the choice ahead. Amy confidently pointed the group toward their next destination, claiming there was something strong ahead. Though her intuition drove them onward, it became clear she had no real certainty, leaving the others surprised by her bold yet unpredictable nature. The group sensed a powerful and unsettling presence ahead. The air filled with danger and the promise of treasure. Uncertainty lingered about what awaited them, but the possibility of a strong enemy grew. Concerned for Minato's condition after the earlier display of overwhelming magic, they questioned if he still had the strength to fight on, to which he affirmed he was ready if needed. Meina quickly realized that Minato's mana reserves had hardly diminished, surprising the others. Her keen perception made it difficult for him to hide anything from her. Taking charge, she reminded them of an adventurer's and readied herself to act when the situation turned dangerous. Minato firmly reminded them to retreat if danger struck, emphasizing safety above all. With that settled, the group quickly shifted back to treasure gathering, moving with speed and efficiency. Despite the tension, Minato's steady resolve reassured them as they pressed on. Amy eagerly gathered treasures using storage magic, but soon filled her capacity. Nearly losing hold of one, she quickly handed it over to Minato, asking if he had space left. Calmly, he accepted, extending his hand to take the burden without
85,000.
hesitation. As treasures piled up, Amy tossed magic items toward Minato, who scrambled to catch them. Among the mix of magic he noticed tools imbued with strange properties. One peculiar object caught his eye, something that closely resembled a device from his previous world. Meina explained that the object was a magic communicator, an ancient relic